1. Taxation. Taxation is the process by which governments collect revenue from individuals and businesses to fund public services and infrastructure. Taxation is like the game where everyone chips in to keep the party going. Except instead of bringing snacks, you're bringing your hard-earned cash. It's the ultimate party pooper that nobody invited. 2. Income tax. Income tax is a tax imposed by the government on the income earned by individuals and businesses. Income tax is like the toll you have to pay for the privilege of earning a living. Except instead of crossing a bridge, you're crossing into the land of adulthood where responsibilities never end and refunds are as elusive as unicorns. 3. Tax return. A tax return is a form filed with the government that reports an individual's or business's income, deductions, and tax liability for a specific period. A tax return is like the homework assignment you keep putting off until the last minute. You know you have to do it, but you'd rather scrub toilets with a toothbrush than deal with all those numbers and forms. 4. Taxpayer. A taxpayer is an individual or entity that is subject to taxation by the government. A taxpayer is like the reluctant hero in a never-ending saga of fiscal responsibility. You may not wear a cape, but you sure feel like you're carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders every time April 15th rolls around. 5. Tax deduction. A tax deduction is an expense or allowance that reduces a taxpayer's taxable income, thereby lowering their tax liability. A tax deduction is like the consolation prize for being a responsible adult. Sure, you may not win the jackpot, but at least you get a few extra bucks to spend on something frivolous like avocado toast or artisanal beard oil. 6. Tax credit. A tax credit is a dollar-for-dollar reduction in the amount of tax owed by a taxpayer. A tax credit is like the golden ticket to the chocolate factory of tax refunds, except instead of candy, you get cold, hard cash. It's the closest thing to winning the lottery without having to buy a ticket. 7. Tax bracket. A tax bracket is a range of income levels to which a specific tax rate applies. A tax bracket is like the menu at a fancy restaurant. The higher you climb, the fancier the prices get. It's the VIP section of taxation where only the ballers and big spenders get to play. 8. Taxable income. Taxable income is the portion of an individual's or business's income that is subject to taxation after deductions and exemptions. Taxable income is like the secret sauce in the recipe for financial disaster. The more you earn, the more the taxman wants his cut. 9. Tax evasion. Tax evasion is the illegal act of deliberately underreporting income or overstating deductions to avoid paying taxes. Tax evasion is like the forbidden fruit of the financial world. Sure, it may seem tempting to cheat the taxman, but the consequences are about as enjoyable as a root canal without anesthesia. 10. Tax audit. A tax audit is an examination of an individual's or business's financial records by the government to verify compliance with tax laws. A tax audit is like the pop quiz you didn't study for. You never know when it's coming, but when it does, you better have all your ducks in a row or risk getting sent to detention with the IRS. 11. Withholding tax. Withholding tax is the amount of tax deducted from an employee's paycheck by their employer and remitted to the government on their behalf. Withholding tax is like the stealthy ninja of taxation. It sneaks up on your paycheck when you least expect it, leaving you wondering where all your hard-earned money went. 12. Property tax. Property tax is a tax imposed by local governments on the value of real estate owned by individuals and businesses. Property tax is like the monthly subscription fee for owning a piece of the American dream, except instead of binge-watching Netflix, you're binge-watching your bank account slowly dwindle away. 13. Sales tax. Sales tax is a consumption tax imposed by governments on the sale of goods and services. Sales tax is like the surprise party nobody asked for. Just when you thought you were getting a good deal, the taxman jumps out from behind the bushes and demands his share of the loot. 14. Excise tax. Excise tax is a tax imposed by governments on the sale or use of specific goods, such as alcohol, tobacco, and gasoline. Excise tax is like the annoying little brother of taxation. It's always there, lurking in the shadows, waiting for the perfect moment to pounce and ruin your day. 15. Value-added tax. Value-added tax is a consumption tax levied on the value added to goods and services at each stage of production and distribution. Value-added tax is like the multi-level marketing scheme of taxation. Everyone along the supply chain gets a piece of the action, whether they want it or not. 16. Capital gains. Tax. Capital gains tax is a tax imposed on the profits earned from the sale of capital assets, such as stocks, bonds, and real estate. Capital gains tax is like the price you pay for playing the stock market. Sure, you may strike it rich, but the taxman is always lurking in the shadows, ready to snatch away your hard-earned gains. 17. Payroll tax. Payroll tax is a tax imposed on employers based on the wages paid to their employees. Payroll tax is like the silent assassin of taxation. It strikes without warning, leaving unsuspecting employees with smaller paychecks and bigger headaches. Subscribe for more explained videos.